Right. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. Can you all hear me? Can you all hear? Yeah, I see the thumb up, but I can't hear talking. What I'm after is just leaving the sound is on. I'm going to leave the sound on so you could participate if you want to ask a question or anything. And you're also free to open the camera or not. Right, okay, I think I have quite a few now. We'll start the session, inshallah. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. I hope more people will join and be inshallah more benefit if more people join the session. Try to get more pictures here. Right. We started last week, last Friday, we started talk on Aqeedah. And I have a few slides which I'm going to go through very quickly what I said on Friday. I can see most of the names are not were not with me last Friday. I think probably only Sister SIEA was. Man huwa Allah? Who is Allah Azza wa Jal? But to understand who is Allah Azza wa Jal, we have to go through certain concepts in Aqeedah. And concepts, one of them is that you have to have in your mind clear demarcation between the creator, الخالق, and the created. So you always have to have ready in your mind an answer that I am different than my creator. So my creator is different. I am created by him and he's not like me. I found the best way to explain it to my students, like if you come to a room and you find a table there in the room, I'm going to mute all of you for now, just and then I will come back to leave the mute away. So you have to have in your mind clear demarcation between you and the creator. It's like when you walk to a room and there is a table, you don't come and say, I understand, the table knows me, or the table talking to me. And I say to my student, if you come and tell me the table has been talking to you, I will ask you to see a psychiatrist. Because you are different, a different creation, totally different creation. The table is a dead piece of food on a metal frame, and you are biological existence different. Allah Azza wa Jal is totally different. So whatever comes to your mind about Allah Azza wa Jal, Allah is different than what it comes to your mind. So we say that Allah is the creator and everything else is created by him and nothing similar to him. So one of the things you need to be created, Allah doesn't need to be created, full stop. Allah is always there. Another concept which we went through on Friday is I left, people expect me to admit them to the room. I should have taken that away. Another concept is Al-Qada والقدر. Because one of the things people mixed up with is our life is planned by Allah Azza wa Jal. Is our destiny already planned, or do we have the choice? And easiest way also to understand is whenever you have a choice, it's in your hand. You decide what to do. When you decide what to do, it goes up to Allah Azza wa Jal. If Allah Azza wa Jal in agreement, He will allow you to do it. If Allah Azza wa Jal doesn't want you to do it, Allah has His own ways to stop you doing it. So you might plan to go and rob a bank, God forbid, and Allah doesn't want the bank to be robbed. So Allah plant a policeman standing there, and you come and you can't get in. You might plan to give somebody £100 gift, whatever, and you go to his house and he's not there, or they tell you he died, or they tell you he immigrated. So when you decide, if Allah in agreement with what you decide, He will allow you. If He is not, He will block it. Al-Qada means in Islam the ruling verdict by Allah Azza wa Jalla, a sentence. If somebody deserves to be punished, Allah will send the angels to punish him. The decision from Allah comes down for the punishment. That's a ruling, court ruling. Al-Qadar divided into three parts. There is a Qadar as a law created by Allah Azza wa Jal. It's all from the Quran, obviously. A Qadar is a measure. إِنَّا كُلَّ شَيْءٍ خَلَقْنَاهُ بِقَدَرٍ وَنُنَزِّلُ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً بِقَدَرٍ. So we drop from heaven water with a precise measured amount. And also the plan of Allah. Allah Azza wa Jal plan and you plan. That's Allah Azza wa Jal says, وَيَمْكُرُونَ وَيَمْكُرُ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. They plan and Allah plan, and Allah is the best of the planner. So the plan of Allah Azza wa Jal, you don't know, but you could, you don't know the plan of Allah. So I'm going to unmute all of you because I'm really keen that you get. I'm sorry you kept you waiting outside. I should have not ticked the waiting room. The waiting room should have been left the door open, but no. If you feel something you misunderstood or you didn't catch, ask me. I'm going to keep you unmute, but you need to reduce the noises on your side. So Qada is the ruling from Allah Azza wa Jal. Like Allah Azza wa Jal decided that enough is enough. The human race is committing all sorts of crimes and aggressions and abuse and fight and whatever. I want to teach them a lesson, and He sent this virus to us. That's a plan from Allah Azza wa Jal. When we deserve. Now, if we were making istighfar, asking Allah to forgive, Allah will not punish us. Allah Azza wa Jal said, وَمَا كُنَّا مُعَذِّبِينَ وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ مُعَذِّبَهُمْ وَهُمْ يَسْتَغْفِرُونَ. Allah will not punish people if they do istighfar. Obviously, you need to do a lot of istighfar to deserve. But if you happen that you are in a place and Allah Azza wa Jal punishing people and you are doing your own istighfar, Allah will exclude you. So Qada is a court ruling from Allah Azza wa Jal. Qadar is either the law of Allah that water evaporates by 100 degrees, that metal is iron is hard at room temperature. You need to heat it to 1,000 degrees to melt it. You have the water when it freezes, it expands. That's the law of Allah Azza wa Jal. How would you change the law of Allah Azza wa Jal? By using another law of Allah. So the law of Allah Azza wa Jal, that water evaporates by 100 degrees. You put pressure on it, it will not evaporate. The water freezes by 0 degrees. You put antifreeze with it, so it will not freeze. So you need to use a law of Allah against another law of Allah. So you use a Qadar of Allah against another Qadar. Qadar of Allah, you get ill, another qadar of Allah, there is a cure, there's an illness, you get antibiotic, you get painkiller, you have an operation, whatever. The plan of Allah, you can't change. You don't know what the plan of Allah Azza wa Jal, and Allah Azza wa Jal plan will override any other plan. So as I said, you have a choice to go to your neighbor and give him £100 a gift, and when you go, he's not in the house, or he's died, or he's gone away. So you have the plan, but the plan of Allah supersedes your plan and might, like I planned to work in a hospital in Riyadh, King Faisal Specialist Hospital. It was one of the top hospitals. Still waiting, people in the waiting room. So the plan of Allah Azza wa Jal that I don't work in the hospital. So I went and I applied to the hospital. They accepted me. They said, come and work with us. I went to move my work permit from the Department of Health to the university, this hospital, and my boss disagreed. I went to the head of that regional authority, he refused. I went to the Ministry of Health, he refused. I went to the governor of Riyadh, King Prince Salman at that time, and he refused. So they said to me, okay, go outside Saudi, come back with a new visa, a new passport, and we will interview you in London. And I did. I came to London. They interviewed me. They offered me the job again. And they said, okay, take this paper, go to the embassy and get a permit to go to Saudi. I went to the embassy. They said, last night the king passed a law that no non-Saudi will be accepted to this hospital. So I said to my wife, is the block coming from Allah Azza wa Jal? It's not from anybody else. So that decision of Allah, so I decided to come to Britain and stay here. So that decision from Allah Azza wa Jal. Although I tried once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, took the plane, left Riyadh, came to London. I made all the effort to go to that hospital, and Allah kept blocking it. So the plan of Allah will supersede your plan. And so the Qada, you might change the Qada by making dua, making istighfar, asking Allah. The Prophet ﷺ said the Qada, the ruling of Allah Azza wa Jal, will come down from heaven. And if you make the proper dua at the proper time, the dua will stop the Qada. And the Prophet ﷺ said they will fight each other till the day of judgment. The Qada will not come down, the dua will not go up, and they stop each other in heaven. While the Qadar, as a law, you can change it by another Qadar of Allah. If the Qadar is a measure, you ask Allah to increase it or decrease it. You ask Allah to increase your income. You ask Allah to increase your knowledge. You ask Allah to improve your health. And Allah will. And Allah could make you live longer. Allah could give you more money. And the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever wanted his lifespan to increase and his income to increase, keep good contact with your relations. فَلْيَصِلْ رَحِمَهُ مَنْ أَرَادَ أَنْ يُنْشَأَ لَهُ في أثره ويوسع له في رزقه فليصل رحمه. So the Qadar as a measure could be increased or decreased by Allah Azza wa Jal on your request, providing you beg Allah Azza wa Jal, you do the right things, you give charity, you seek the treatment, you seek this, you seek that, and Allah Azza wa Jal will increase or decrease. The Qadar of Allah as a plan, you can't change. The plan of Allah Azza wa Jal will take place regardless whatever you do. So when Allah Azza wa Jal decided that Maryam will have a baby, and Jibreel alayhi salam, he said to her, وَكَانَ أَمْرًا مَقْضِيًّا, that will be done. So Maryam could have killed herself, she could have aborted the baby, she could have disappeared, run away, she could have done anything, but she couldn't. That's a decision from Allah Azza wa Jal and was executed as planned by Allah Azza wa Jal. Now, another concept which is difficult for people to know in dealing with Aqeedah, understanding Allah Azza wa Jal, is the concept of time. That's very, very difficult for Muslims and non-Muslims to understand. What is the time dimension? Because religion came to prophesize about the future. So the future hasn't come, and here you are, a prophet, a man come to us and he say he's a messenger from Allah, telling us what's going to happen after we die, telling us what's going to happen in 5 years, in 10 years. In the case of Isa alayhi salam, he told them what's going to happen after 570 years. وَمُبَشِّرًا بِرَسُولٍ يَأْتِي مِنْ بَعْدِي اسْمُهُ أَحْمَدٍ. That I'm giving a good news that there is a messenger coming after me, his name is Ahmad. So that was prophecy for what's going to happen in 570 years when the Prophet ﷺ was born, and 610 years when he became a messenger. So that's a prophecy. So when you come to the time concept, how Allah Azza wa Jalla knows the future, and that will relieve you from a lot of hustles and bustles when you think, am I doing what I'm doing because I have the free will, or am I supposed to do this? Do I believe in Allah Azza wa Jalla because of my free will, or do I believe in Allah Azza wa Jalla because He decided that I should believe? Now, when you go to the Quran, Allah Azza wa Jalla says, and amazing, Allah Azza wa Jalla spoke about time in relation to you is different than time in relation to Allah Azza wa Jalla. So time for us, Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَإِنَّ يَوْمًا عِنْدَ رَبِّكَ كَأَلْفِ سَنَةٍ مِمَّا تَعُدُّونَ. A day in the sight of Allah Azza wa Jalla equal to 1,000 years of our reckoning. And also he said, the Prophet ﷺ said, يَسُبُّ ابْنُ آدَمَ الدَّهَرُ وَأَنَا الدَّهَرُ. Allah Azza wa Jalla calling himself that he is time. بِيَدِيَ اللَّيْلُ وَالنَّهَارُ. In my hand is the day and night. Another narration, I change them as I like. There's that there in the Quran, people didn't understand it. They swear at that. And the time came when they were never in existence. Or they said here in previous ayah that dahr make us die. It's not dahr make you time. It's Allah Azza wa Jalla is the one who make you die. Allah is a dahr. So how is Allah is a dahr? Allah is time. Allah is the time who is not as a concept of 1 hour, 1 minute, 1 day, 1 year. It's the one who is in control of everything all the time. He exists all the time and he has the power to change things, and he is a person. It's Allah Azza wa Jalla. So when Einstein came and started talking about time in relation to speed, people started accepting that time could be longer or shorter, depends on your speed. The faster you are, the shorter your time. So if your speed is infinite, your time is 0. Now, the scientists start talking about the past, the present, and the future exist at the same time, depends on the speed. And this is started bringing to the mind of a human that, yes, it's possible someone could exist in the past, present, and the future at the same time, which is Allah Azza wa Jalla. And Allah Azza wa Jalla, لا يحده زمان ولا مكان. Allah was there. He created the universe, so he created the place. He made the universe move, so time became noticeable to us. Stop the movement when people die and they go to Alam al-Barzakh, time will stop. When they are brought the day of judgment, Allah Azza wa Jalla will ask, how long have you been dead? They will say a day or a day and a half. When you go to sleep, time stops. When you go like 11 o'clock in the evening, you wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, you think you slept just for minutes, and you look at the clock and you find that, 2 hours passed or 5 hours passed. Many of us wake up and then say, I could have a second nap again. And you think you'll have enough for 10 minutes, and you look at the clock and it is 1 hour and a half past. So time for us, when there's a movement, we feel the time. Time for Allah Azza wa Jal, He's there all the time, doesn't apply to Him. He's in the past, in the present, in the future at the same time. So Allah is in the future, so the past wrote what happened in the past. For him, what he wrote in the book is what already happened in the time, but he wrote it in the past. Now in Surah Hadid, Allah Azza wa Jalla said, ما أصاب من مصيبة في الأرض ولا في أنفسكم إلا في كتاب من قبل أن نبرأها. There's nothing, no calamity happened in the earth or within yourself, but it is already in a book which we wrote before we created the universe. So Allah wrote what's going to happen 50,000 years before he created the universe. And for him, it's already happened. So in an ayah in Surah Al-Anbiya, أتى أمر الله فلا تستعجلوا. The day of judgment happened. For Allah Azza wa Jalla already happened. For us, he said, it's in the future, coming in the future. Don't hurry it up. So if you get the time concept right in your mind, it will be a good step towards understanding Allah Azza wa Jalla. Allah Azza wa Jalla in the past, in the present, in the future, at the same time. And he took his servant Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam on the night of journey to the future. He saw people in hell punished, and he saw people in paradise rewarded. And he came down and told them. He told Umar, I saw your massive mansion in paradise. He told them, Bilal, I heard you walking in paradise. And so another concept in Aqeedah is, do you want to believe? Sorry, it's by invitation only. You apply to Allah Azza wa Jalla, believe in Allah Azza wa Jalla. Some people don't apply, they don't want to know about Allah. But if you apply to become a believer, Allah Azza wa Jalla said, يُضِلُّ مَنْ يَشَاءُ وَيَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ. He will mislead whoever he wishes, and he will lead whoever he wishes. But there's rules ruling Allah Azza wa Jalla. He said, who will be excluded? Unjust people. Even if he apply, he want to believe in Allah Azza wa Jalla, Allah will not allow him because he's unjust. He has to be just first and then apply to believe in Allah Azza wa Jalla. And that's in the Quran, obviously, in Surah Al-Baqarah. Allahu la yahdi al-qawm al-kafirin. Those who cover up the fact, Allah will not guide them because they keep covering up the fact. And Allah will not guide the fasiqeen, those who split away from the religion. He's born as a Muslim, he's ex-Muslim now. Allah will not guide him. He will have to come back, request to be, acknowledge he's a Muslim, enter Islam, start fasting and praying and paying zakat and say Shahadah, then apply again. And also Allah will not accept those who mislead other people. He will not accept them. They will have to stop misleading other people, especially on a religious aspect. And then Allah will guide them. Allah will not guide the one who is a liar, pathological liar. He just lied to his teeth, like many people like these days. And Allah will not guide those who are musrifeen, indulge in a lot of offenses in this. I will stop here and see if you have questions on what I said before I move on. Anybody has a question? You need to unmute self if you are already muted. Any question on what I said? You understood everything I said? Sure? Hand on your heart? Right. Shall I go on? Are you there? You're still there?
Yeah, sure.
Carry on.
We're still here. We're still here, Dr. Ghannam.
Sorry?
We're still here. We're still here. It's very interesting.
But you don't have questions.
I was going to ask you a totally unrelated question because, but why are you running it at lunchtime? Because this is really useful and very interesting course. Now I'm having to juggle work and listen to the lecture.
Oh, I thought you were locked down, but some of you work from home, isn't it?
That's right. So it's.
What about the rest? Shall we move it to the evening? 5 o'clock in the evening or something?
For me, I would say it's okay because I'm actually doing 12-hour shift these days. So if I'm on, then I will be here all day. Like I've just actually finished the war round. I thought I'll just have some time, so I've come here. But I don't mind. evening or here. Either way is fine.
I actually recording it today. I will look into whether it's recording properly, and then I will put it for. But recording will deprive people from asking questions during the session. Any more? Once it moved to the evening?
No.
You're happy locked down in the house, and how many are 3, 6, 9 of you? Right. We'll see. Do you not have Ahmed? Do you not have lunch break?
I do have lunch break, but it's not fixed.
Because
It's not fixed. I get calls coming from left, right, and centre. Nobody obeys.
Right. Yeah.
In fact, we've got a scheduled lunch break for our mental wellness for half an hour, but nobody obeys these rules.
Right. So, no, I thought lunch break, because you are fasting, you don't use it for eating, you use it for.
I can use it, just that I'll get another call. I'll get another call, and I'll get an IM voice. I am as well.
Yeah.
So if everybody wants it at lunchtime, that's fine. It's a good idea to have it at lunchtime. But I was thinking early evening would be better for me. But if I'm the minority, then that's fine. I'll try and dial in.
I can't see Mundassar in his car, is it?
Yeah, I'm just actually came. I thought I'll take a break in the car.
Yeah.
I didn't want to walk all the way to the office. So,
Yeah. What we'll do then, we'll leave it for today and tomorrow, and then I'll ask more people tomorrow, but perhaps they will make up their mind, and then we'll change it. No precondition. You can't ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to make you believe in Him by just wishing. Even Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah Azza wa Jalla said to him, "Innaka la tahdi man ahbab." Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam tried again and again and again and again with his uncle Abu Talib. Is no way. It did end. And Allah Azza wa Jalla said, although he acknowledged you love your uncle, and his uncle wasn't believer, that's also an answer to those who think about wala and bara. Can you love somebody who's kafir? Yes, the Prophet did. Will that make you kafir? No, it won't. So he said to him, you cannot love, you cannot guide, bring to Islam the one you love. Allah Azza wa Jal will guide the one who wanted to be guided. He has to make decision himself by willingly, by choice. وَقَالُوا لَن نُؤْمِنَ لَكَ حَتَّى تُفَجِّرَ لَنَا مِنَ الْأَرْضِ يَنبُوعًا. We will not believe with you until you bring springs, water exploding, coming down, from underground. So we will believe. No, you can't make precondition. Sorry, I'm not going to do it. أو تكون لك جنة من نخيل. You have garden of full of palm trees and dates and grapes and rivers flowing through it. No, you can't make that precondition. Believe it, believe or not. أو تسقط السماء علينا كما زعمت علينا كسفا. So drop the heaven on top of us. Then we will believe. We will be dead anyway. أو تأتي بالله والملائكة قبيلا. We bring God and bring the angels. Then we will believe. And Allah saying, no precondition. You just believe because you saw the creation already, or don't believe. It's up to you. But I'm not going to do what's your request. أو يكون لك بيت من زخرف أو ترقى في السماء ولن نؤمن لرقيك حتى تنزل علينا كتابا قل سبحان ربي هل كنت إلا بشرا رسولا. They want them to fly in heaven. You have a mansion house in decorated, and we will not accept until you bring us a book from heaven. So we read. Said, I'm sorry, I'm a human like you. I'm not going to do any of these. Either take it or leave it. I will not do what you want. It's not according to your conditions. It's a precondition. It's you have enough evidence Allah is around. Like I heard Sheikh Tijani was talking yesterday, that if a prophet here and you see the miracle, you will believe. But you have every day millions of miracles around you. I mean, like, the virus now is a miracle. A small virus, RNA, closed half the globe closed. What sort of miracle is this? What sort of creature Allah Azza wa Jal created? How Allah Azza wa Jal created your eye? That's a miracle. Created your ears. And he said, we take it for granted. We don't think about it. Because we have a good memory, if we are like a fish, the fish enjoy being in a fish tank because the memory is just 3 second span. By the time the fish move around the fish tank, you see, oh, that's new things I haven't seen before. That's a miracle. So Allah Azza wa Jal said, no, you have to believe without any precondition. Take it as it is. وقالوا لولا أنزل عليه ملك أو ولو أنزلنا ملكا لقضي الأمر ثم لا ينظرون. They wanted angels to come. Allah Azza wa Jal said, it's going to be the end of you. If when I send an angel, it will be the end of you because you don't have a choice then. You will have to believe by force at that time, and there's no point giving you any choice anymore. So when you see the angels, there's another ayah, it's just not good news for you because you'll be dying. And if you're not a believer, it's not good news for you. وَلَوْ جَعَلْنَاهُ مَلَكًا, if we send an angel, how would you see the angel? There's 2 angels on your right and left, and you can't see. If we make him a visible angel, how would you accept that he's an angel? You think he's a man coming from another city. You'll be too muddled. وَقَالَ الَّذِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ لَوْلَا يُكَلِّمُنَا اللَّهُ أَوْ تَأْتِينَا آيَةٌ. Want Allah to talk to us. Or a sign coming to us. There's millions of signs there. Allah Azza wa Jal, he said that no human will be talked to by Allah Azza wa Jal unless through a messenger or through a revelation or inspiration. Only 2 people Allah spoke to, or 3, Adam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. So no precondition. Okay, any questions on this? Before we go to another concept. Right. No questions. Another concept. You need to submit to Allah Azza wa Jal by saying Shahadah, pray, pay Zakat, fast, perform Hajj, and do the halal and avoid the haram. The Islam is different than Iman. To believe in Allah Azza wa Jal, become deep-seated Aqeedah in your heart, deep-seated belief. There is 5 things you need to do first. Shahadah, Salah, Zakah, Hajj, and Siyam, fasting. And avoid the haram because you accept the orders from Allah. You accept Him as the Creator. And you avoid the haram because you accept He is the right person to tell us. The most wise decided this, so you don't negotiate with Him. Like I was talking to the student yesterday, when you go to the GP and you get your prescription, you don't question him. Where did you get your qualifications? Where did you study? What is about the anatomy? How did you reach a decision that I have this illness? Can you explain me how the illness developed, how the drug will work and things? He doesn't have time for that. And take it or leave it. This is the prescription. Go to the chemist, get the drug. If you don't believe in me as a doctor, don't come. It's a free choice. So, yes, you are a Muslim now. قالت العرب آمنا قل لم تؤمنوا لكن قولوا أسلمنا. The Bedouin Arab came to the Prophet and said, we are believers, we are mu'min. And Allah said, no, you're Muslims. Because you're doing the visible things. The hidden things, the iman in the heart, will not be given to you by Allah until if you obey Allah and obey His Messenger, then your deeds will be counted and you will be converted to a mu'min. So when Jibreel came, he taught us Islam first stage, Iman second stage, Ihsan the third stage. Second stage is a gift from Allah Azza wa Jal. Islam is a choice by you. Iman is a gift that you are now considered a believer. So that's you put your submission to Allah Azza wa Jal. Like if you're applying to university, if you're applying to a job, if you're applying to marry somebody, you will have to put your application and expect to be rejected or accepted. Depends on how credible your history, your job histories, your education history, your character history. There could be somebody apply for a job and he's a genius, but he is arrogant, or he's sarcastic, or he is bad, or he had bad record, or he's is went to prison or something, then his application might be rejected. So you have to submit after you do all these. The fact that you're fasting doesn't mean that you're a mu'min. The fact that you give zakat doesn't mean that you're a mu'min. So many people give so much charity. I mean, Captain Tom, he raised 37 million pounds and donated by people from all sorts of backgrounds. So people donate money. People fast for different reasons, and people go on tourism. Sometimes it's harder than even Hajj. They climb mountains, they cross the oceans and things. So who said that by going to Hajj you are a mu'min? It has to be gift from Allah Azza wa Jal, and Allah will look into your deeds and then say, yes, this guy, وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا, Allah said, they struggle for our sake, we will guide them to our way. So it's a long struggle. Salah is struggle, Hajj is struggle, fasting is struggle, avoiding haram is struggle. I mean, I know many people who, like, you know, Muslims, they don't pray or they don't fast, or women don't put hijab, they don't, they mix randomly and whatever. They call themselves Muslims. Luckily, they don't call themselves mu'min. Because if you call yourself mu'min straight away, how do you know? If you are obeying Allah, it will make you a mu'min. If you are disobeying Allah, how do you know Allah made you a mu'min? Because a mu'min, believing in Allah, he will be terrified of disobeying Allah. I mean, like imagine it's Ramadan now and you're eating lunchtime. I went to Salisbury the other day. There's a Muslim there I know, and he was eating. And he pretended he never knew me. So he gave me his name and number to come tell him when the Friday prayer is. I never come to Friday prayers. He acknowledged that he's a Muslim. I didn't see him on Friday prayers. I saw him now eating in Ramadan. So it's a struggle. It's a struggle for, I mean, every time I see a lady with hijab, I admire that she's really facing difficulty. And in spite of that, she decided to apply the rules of Allah Azza wa Jal. وَمَنْ يُؤْمِنْ بِاللَّهِ يَهْدِ قَلْبَهُ وَاللَّهُ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٌ. If you want to believe in Allah Azza wa Jal, you trust Allah Azza wa Jal, He will guide your heart. Your heart is the most noble organ in your body, because your heart is the last to stop when you're dying. And the heart represents you, the most precious things. That's why you make zikrullah in your heart. Because your tongue, people live without tongue. People live without a brain. There's a lot of demented there, they don't know even their names. But your heart represents your soul, because your reaction, show through your heart, your skin, your breathing and things. So Allah Azza wa Jalla will guide you, your inner soul, to Him if He sees that you're really sincere and keen. And Allah will make you a believer. So you make yourself a Muslim, Allah make you a mu'min. This is why you see a lot of Muslims and there's not a lot of Islam. Why? Because they haven't moved to the level of Iman. They're still at the application level. They applied, and it's a hit and miss, it seems. One day they pray, one day they don't. One day they pray with proper wudu, one day they swear, and then one day they lie, and one day so hit and miss. So you need to get out of this Islam level to Iman level, and that's the gift from Allah. It comes from up down to us. Its application goes up from us to Allah Azza wa Jal. Confirmed acceptance of your application come from Allah Azza wa Jal to you. Now we're going to go to more concepts, inshallah, next session, and answering more difficult questions. It's only 1 or 2 minutes left for the session today. If you have any question, please fire it now and see if I can answer. No, muting. Am I muting you or are you muting yourself? Let me check. Got 10 participants. No, they're all muting themselves because probably they're talking to the wife. They don't want me to know, or talking to the children.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.